Good afternoon. It's Nomsa here at Nkosi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. With me today, Angie and Kamal. Sorry, guys, we have had problems and we are here now. So over to you, Kamal. What do you think about the topic? This woman on Zoom, she's saying we can no longer go in live stream anymore, but you are live.
Yeah, forget about her. Hi, Nomsa. Hi, Angie. Welcome, everybody that is watching, wherever you may be it morning, afternoon, or evening. So today's topic, if my memory serves me well, it's reinventing yourself to reach your goals and dreams. So what I usually start with, I used to end with this, which is a quote. If those that are watching are familiar with me, I'm going to start today with a quote from Lao Tzu. And he said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Now, the reason why I wanted to start with this is because it encompasses reinventing yourself. And to reinvent yourself, you need to, almost like a snake, you need to shed that old skin and get into that new self, that new person that you are. I will bring it, since it's about purpose for me in life. I will bring it to purpose. And we, throughout our existence, we gather values, we gather habits, we gather behaviors that are taught to us, that are learned by us, by our parents, our family members, people of authority, and people that we recognize to being mentors. And these, if we are not aware of who we are personally, these will affect ourselves, and it will, in most cases, create a disalignment between your conscious self and your subconscious self. The conscious self will be all of those values and behaviors and the person that you are, based on the learned experiences of your life and what you have been taught that you must do, that you should do, that you need to do. Contra your conscious self, which is what you believe is right for your life to move on with. So I'll keep at that. That's my introduction when it comes to reinventing yourself for reaching your goals. And I'm going to ask you, Angie, how do you express it, explain it, feel about it, see it, or hear it?
Well, for me, proof is in the pudding. You can't be a new self if you stay with the old self. Just that's it. And it comes from a place of, been there, done that, trying to put new habits in place, trying to change direction, trying to reach my goals 7 years ago was non-existent, because I was trying to do it with completely the wrong mindset. So for me, it was learning the skills, the techniques, and everything that I needed to have for me to then reinvent myself, for me then be able to achieve my goals. Like I said, you can't, for instance, if you want to drive around I'm just going to chuck something out there, drive around on a racetrack, and you want to do the speeds of a Ferrari, you don't get in a Mini. You get in a Ferrari, and that's basically how I see it. If you want to level up and achieve goals and your dreams, you've got to level up as a person. So it's learning more, reinventing you by learning new things. That's me in a nutshell. Yeah, so don't drive a Mini if you want to drive a Ferrari.
Pretty logical, though.
Yeah.
Or common sense, right? But again, common sense is missing these days, as they say.
Yeah, totally. How about you, Nomsa? And you're on mute, darling, before you start talking.
She hasn't stopped doing that for the past 4 years.
What's that, me?
Yeah, you.
What haven't I stopped?
You always speak when you're muted.
It's because I'm used to speak and not having to unmute and then having to do that. So I'm doing this. I think reinventing yourself, myself, I missed Kamal. When Kamal, you were talking, somebody was buzzing and then he went somewhere else and then he comes back and then Angie's talking and then he comes back, the postman. So I don't know. I think reinventing yourself is more than it's more than just self-improvement, or it's like going deep into your life and looking into every area of your life and just doing what you want to do and to reinvent, to make sure that every area of you address everything in your life, whatever the changes or the goals that you want to create, and making sure that it's actually, that's what I'm doing. Angie, you did the right thing by picking this topic. It's like I'm going through every area of my life and trying to look at everything. And like yesterday, I was going through my business plan and checking everything out, and I realized that actually there are goals that I have created, I need to achieve, but I've not been able to update it on my business plan. And then my relationship wise, I have to have a look at the relationship with my children as well, and just have a look at any area of their lives that needs some improvement, and their father, of course, and just going deep into my life to change whatever it needs changing, or if there is anything that is making me unhappy, and just making sure that I pay attention to it, why is making that unhappy. But so far, I think I am very happy with God. And I don't think there's anything that is making me unhappy. And I'm happy that you guys are here as well. Though it took us 40 minutes to actually work out. I was busy and Kamal is busy. And I'm like, why am I busy pressing the settings? Why can't he just log in if he hasn't got permission? So just checking anything in my life, what needs to be addressed, and things like that, and maybe add some security in my life and just change. So I don't know, I missed Kamal's whatever you were saying, but I like to hear it a little bit.
Well, I can definitely go a little bit deeper into that subject. I mean, I thank you so much, Angie, for choosing as well this topic, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to ping pong around on. Now, if we come back to reinventing yourself into purpose, because that's what I started off with. When we consider what purpose is, raison d'être, Japanese call it ikigai. We think about finding purpose. The common concept is, I want to find my purpose, or read these books and you'll be able to discover your purpose in life, right? And there's no such thing. There's nothing to discover about yourself. Everything that you want is there. And what you are required to do, if you so wish to, is to uncover. And now I was talking about shedding your skin like a snake. And it's the whole concept of you being enveloped by everything that surrounds you, by society, by social media, by the people. And like if you consider aura, right? Your aura becomes completely heavy with everything that's around you. how you act in public. No, 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 you're not supposed to do that because it's rude. Or no, 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 that's improper. Or this is not the way that you talk to people. Or no, I can't act like that because otherwise people will think of me that way. Or no, 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 this is not the decent behavior because my parents, my grandparents, my ancestors said, like, these are the ethics and these are the moral rules that I have to abide by. Now you gather all of that onto yourself and you put it on your shoulders. And that's a heavy weight to carry all along your life. And you can see it in people's eyes when you act differently, when you act according to yourself. The envious eyes that you get. And it's not only envious, it's envy, it's jealousy, and it's also that part where they feel that they hate you. And I'm using that word because it's like, I don't like using that word. But you could see hate oozing through people's eyes because they wish they could do that, but they can't. And they can't even get to their own understanding that this is something that they want. So reinventing yourself means letting go, means accepting that things might work for you and other things might not. Knowing what you want for yourself, whether it be personal or business, or spiritual, doesn't matter. It is your choice at the end of the day. You want to achieve success, and I'm going to say it this way, success can mean 7 billion things to each 7 billion of us. Success is what you make of it. Whether you believe success is money, whether you believe success is a fancy title and a career, being famous and known, maybe success is being a good parent or a grandparent, or just being who you are, or being a monk or a nun. It's your choice at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm gonna bounce off the ball to you, Angie, because I said quite a bit, and I'm sure you've got something to bounce back.
Well, there's no Ferraris involved this time. You'll be happy to know, or no minis. However, I loved how you mentioned uncovering yourself rather than discovering yourself. So many people get in their own heads about discovering themselves. High five, hello, you see yourself in the mirror every day. But unfortunately, most of us are covered in chicken stuff, shite, whatever you want to call it, because of all that, like you were saying, the stuff that's thrown at you, and you take that on board and you take that on board, and then you encase yourself in this hard case of chicken poo. Best way for me to say, I'm not going to swear, I'm going to be good. But and I remember somebody saying to me a few years back now, when I was trying to do something, and they said this to me, and I just sat there and I went, what? And then it was like, well, yeah, actually thinking about it, I'm not attractive when I'm covered in that. So it is about shedding that stuff and letting that go, and understanding that, you know, our parents, our siblings, and other people in our lives as we're growing up, they was just doing the best that they knew, and they was just following what they've been shown, and they've just taught you what they've been shown. And, you know, but that doesn't mean that that has to be your values, your life, your choices. You get to do that on your own. You know, when you make that choice to do it, it's all about choice for me as well. We've all got a choice. We've got the dignity of choice. Most animals don't. A tree, as loves Les Brown, a tree can't be nothing but a tree. Humans have got unlimited potential, but for some reason we don't use it and we don't grow. And I love how you mentioned, Kamal, about other people's reactions. Boy, did I see that. You know, I was the person that was at the bar drinking like an absolute idiot, you know, F Jeff here, and not a care in the world. And then all of a sudden, when I started to change, started to evolve into a new person, and I talk differently and question them. You think you're better than us now, do you? I have never, ever once said I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. I'm just me. And I just want to be me. And it's taken a long time for me to actually uncover myself and find out who I am, rather than who I was being, because I thought that was the right way to be. But the amount of people that are no longer in my life, and that's absolutely fine. quite honestly with you, because if we're hanging on to the people that are not going to elevate us and support us, then all we're going to do is get dragged back down to the person that you're trying to let go of, if that makes sense.
It's amazing, right? The amount of people that just suddenly disappear from your life once you become that person that you are meant to be for yourself, right?
Yeah. And unfortunately, that I think that's one of the reasons why most people won't do that work on themselves. You know, with me, a lot of people have said to me, you know, you've mentioned that you're quite lonely. And I was like, yes, I am. But I'd rather be lonely and happy or unhappy than have that type of people around me and be even more unhappier. So, you know, it's amazing how many people just go poof and they're just gone. And a lot of people do quit on themselves because of that.
It's scary, obviously. It's very scary. It's very scary.
Yeah, it is very scary, because sometimes when you try to reinvent yourself, people may say, oh, you are not the person that we know, so they'll struggle to actually accept. And I think mostly is jealousy. People become jealousy because the one thing that I did when I did personal development with Paul McKenna, it was to get rid of jealousy first. Like when we're doing, like when you do the practical things, the exercises, practice not to be jealous of anybody, knowing that you are unique yourself. So I think when you change your life to become what you think you should become, people may feel threatened, like, we don't know this person, who is she becoming? There's a girl, she did her talk. She's a model. She did her talk at Desmond O'Connor, and she said one day she decided that she's going to be happy. She wasn't happy with her life, and she decided that she's going to change everything and be happy and put herself first. And she was like, every time she smiles now, she's a person who's always smiling, appreciating people, and people like, are you okay? Are you on drugs or something? And she was like, people started questioning her, and she was like, actually, I'm loving this. So people like to see me miserable. Now I'm reinventing myself and changing things around, and people are questioning me. Honestly, she was like, people were like thinking she's drinking even when she was sober. She was like, are you drunk or something? And she was like, it is amazing how people like to see you not being happy. And then when you say to yourself, well, I'm just going to be happy and look after myself and be honest with myself, like Angel, what you were saying of who I am and who I believe that I should become, and also defining and setting goals and just living that life, making plans for yourself. People may feel threatened about that. I've gone through that, where you have people. When I was going through divorce, I sat down with myself, and we lived in this big mansion. People actually used to drive and stop. The house where we lived, there was a gardener coming in. It was so beautiful. The garden was so beautiful, really, really beautiful. The house was huge. People would drive and just look at the house. So when we were going through divorce, here's me, I'm like, okay, moving out, coming to Henley from Essex, and my friends are coming here, got a two-bedroom flat. My friend came and she was like, I don't understand. I was like, why don't you understand? She's like, no, so the whole thing, I don't understand. I was, what now? And she was like, why would you move a big home, and coming here into a two-bedroom flat? And I was like, I'm making some changes in my life. And she was like, no, I don't understand it. So I was like, yes, you got to understand. You can't understand it, but this is what I'm doing. I'm going through divorce instead of me fighting my ex and saying, you should pay for this, you should pay for this. For now, I'm having this. flat makes me happy. My daughter makes her happy. And I was like, in that home, I was happy. But now we're no longer a big family. So I'm making some changes. So she couldn't understand. All my friends just went just like that. So I was like, so I'm okay when I'm living in this big lifestyle that I don't understand. And but deep down in my heart, I knew what I was doing. I knew that I was doing a fresh start, and I knew that me and my daughter, we needed that fresh start. And the flat was so perfect, really, really perfect for us. It's beautiful. It was a beautiful flat. And so I couldn't understand. So my friend, he explained that I really don't understand, why would you live a luxury life and come in city? And I was like, have you seen this city? How is like, it's a luxury city. But the problem is I'm not here for luxury. I need to work on myself. My life is broken. And I need to really, really sit down and think what I want to do moving forward with my life. My daughter was going to school. I found a school. We got settled. She went to a public school. We got settled. And then after we got settled, and then she moved to a private school, because in that way, I get to know, I get to look at things around, I get to look at the schools properly. Where do I need to go instead of rushing everything? So I think what Kamal is saying, it makes sense that 1 minute you have these people, and the next thing when you're making changes into your life, then they're like, they're not there anymore. And they're not meant to be there. If they're meant to be there, it means they will stay with you regardless of whatever friends who have had to reinvent their lives. But I stand by them. I'm like, whatever you want, tell me the part you want me to play, helping you. But I'm just, I've got your back. So that's what, even at Nkosi talk shows, you guys, when you're whinging and stuff, that's why I always tell you off and say, don't whinge, be grateful that we are all nice people and we are together and we are embracing this journey. And this journey is actually amazing. Is because of the things that I've learned in the past, that when you hang out with good people, you have to hold on to them. And you guys are part of those good people. And you will see now, you will see when Nkosi talk shows get bigger, instead of people going away, people will start getting in touch with you, wanting to come and join you. So things works different. Over to you, Kamal.
No, you're right, and that's you said something that that brings this whole concept to play now, which is, you were talking about going through a divorce, and then you have to have goals and your plans, and you downsized into a smaller flat house living area. But it really is creating yourself anew, right? It's that newer version of yourself that is content with who you are at that stage, and then growing from there to becoming whoever you want to become. And this is the second part that I would like to talk about, which is, since we spoke a bit at the beginning about these values and these ethics and all of these rules that we gather about, I think one of the crucial parts at that stage, once you realize what kind of person you want to be and who you want to be, is to set goals. And I talk about them as I've been taught by my mentor, in focus areas. Now, it's been explained in a million different ways. You can call them the parts of your life that you want to focus on. You can call them the goals in your life in each individual area of the life, whether it be business, friendship, relationship, fun, whatever you want to divide in your life. And once you know the areas that you want to focus on in your life, and you minimize them into I would say a handful, right? Just your 5 fingers, a handful of focus areas, it becomes much more simpler for you to set goals that you can achieve, achievable goals, right? There's this SMART method, right? Simple, manageable, achievable. I don't know what R stands for, and and then
sorry, realistic.
Realistic. There you go. Thank you. I don't know the name because I know that's the business one. Even though I'm a business trainer as well, I don't use that one. I use the a different term. I call it objectives, life objectives. It's simpler, and you have to know that these things are achievable, that you can do it in a timely manner, that they're realistic. And when you set these goals for each of those areas, it becomes simpler to break them down into steps, to break them down into achievable chunks, if you will. And step by step, you can start climbing that ladder in each area. And I'm talking like this, and I haven't shared anything. This did happen to me. It took me, what, 35 years? Well, I'm not going to count the first 6 years because, like, who are you? So let's say 30 years. It took me 30 years to understand that nobody is going to help me become the person that I want to be if I don't help myself. And if you look into it in any self-help books, if you look at religious scriptures, if you look at spiritual scriptures, if you look at any person that speaks with honesty, you will always hear the first part, which is for you to help yourself. For others to help you, you need to help yourself first. In order for you to find forgiveness, you need to forgive yourself first. In order for you to, whatever thing that you do in life, it has to start with you. If you don't take that first step, it's not going to work. Baby crawling, it's the baby that wants to decide, I'm going to put my feet on the ground. I am going to take that first step. It's a conscious choice. And that conscious choice, I've spoken about choice, is that we always have a choice. Not making a decision is still a choice. You staying on that path of that same life is your choice. So don't come whinging and crying that, oh, nothing's changing. Well, you're not doing any steps. You want to find a job, you're not looking for a proper job, or maybe you're applying to multiple jobs, but you're not looking for the right job that you really want to have. What is it that you want to do in your life? How are you going to change that? Situations happen left and right, and we use them as hangers. We use them as excuses. These situations happen in our life for us to ask the right question. How can I change it into my advantage? What can I learn from this situation? Or what does the universe want to teach me? And what is the gift behind that? So, yeah, it's not that simple. Like I've been through that divorce process as well 4 years ago, and you know what? It's the second I stepped out of that house, it felt like a mountain was just put aside from on top of my shoulders. I felt relief. Why? Because I had decided to start becoming myself. But yeah, Angie?
Love it. You said it all. I'm done. No, I totally resonate, totally agree with you. As you know, yeah, I went through that divorce. It was hard. It would have been easy to stay there and stay in that in that relationship that wasn't serving me anymore, or would it have been easy? I look at it now and I just think, wow, what a difference. We weren't meant to be together. We were meant to be together because we were meant to have our daughter, definitely. And we are very good friends. It's like I've gained a brother, which is quite weird. And my friends who know me now, one of my friends, I've known him for about best part 10 years. And I'd split up with my ex-husband at that time. And now he sees us together. He's like, this is weird. And my family, they're like, are you guys getting back together? And I'm like, no. But we decided to become a unit in a different way to support our daughter. Because that's one of the things that I was used to growing up, was seeing mum and dad fight left, right and centre. And I made that conscious choice. That wasn't going to happen to her. If we started fighting, that was it, game over. She comes first. So in regards to coming first, I was brought up like most people that if you think of yourself first, you're a selfish pig. Nice. No, self. You cannot help anybody else. You cannot be there for anybody else if you're a mess. Like I was an absolute mental mess. I couldn't help anybody out. So by putting me first and thinking about what I want to achieve, who I want to become, how I want to support my daughter the best way I can, by doing that, I now get to help other people. But I couldn't have done it before if I hadn't have put that. In fact, actually, I've just done a blog about self-care and self-love, because most people just don't, sitting there, I don't know about you guys, but like with TV, I don't watch TV that often. But if I find a series that I like, I will monster the crap out of that. And then I beat myself up because I've spent 2 days watching every series. And I'm like, and you've got things to do. And that's okay. I work so much, work so hard that I deserve that time out. But I remember growing up that she's fat and lazy because she's not doing anything. Well, because she sat there doing Sudoku. Can't get my head around that, but also knowing that it's a brilliant mind game, it really works the mind. So it wasn't being lazy, she was working her mind, and most of us don't. We just go on autopilot. So yeah, I love definitely the self thing. It's taken me a long time to get to that position of putting me first. If I'm not feeling 100%, then I will cancel what I need to cancel. Obviously I say 100%. If I'm feeling really bad, I will cancel. Whereas before, I would carry on regardless. And then I'd be a mess for 2 days, which then is not serving me or my daughter or anybody else that needs me. So yeah. What about you, Nomsa? No, she's
Hold on.
Oh, hey!
I like it when Kamal says everything starts with you, and and Angie as well. You say you are unique, and that's what I told my ex. Sometimes when he plays funny, and I'm like, listen, we are family forever now. We have a daughter together, and that means that we are family, and family means the family don't fight. We get along, not for the sake of my daughter. So he is used to like when it comes with my daughter at my house, he would just come in, and he knows that it has to be free. He will come in and bring her in and say hello, or if there is something that is upset or he wants to talk, he knows I'm always there to listen to. But I tell him off when he's grumpy with me, because that's not necessary. So I don't like people when they are grumpy. I like people who express their feelings, how they are feeling. I think it's nice when you don't feel good. It's nice to tell people. And also when Kamal says that everything starts with you, you have to look at your life and do you. It doesn't matter what people think. You have to do you. For me, it's something that I've learned the hard way, that I do me. My friend always says, Nomsa, you don't really care about what people think about you. I'm like, why should I care? As long as I love them and I'm doing me. If I have to do things that I love to do, I'll go for it. It doesn't matter what people think. And when I moved here, I was so happy, because I was like, it was a beautiful place. And for me, I look at my daughter, I'm looking at her, I was like, I've never lived in a flat, so let's just live in a flat. And we lived in a flat. My daughter had her own room, I had my room, and it was so nice. And then after we settled, and that's when we were like, I think now we need to move and find a home. So that's when we moved and found a proper home. But It's just those places where when you're going through something, people don't understand. I always say, when I'm telling you something, don't say you understand my pain, because you don't. And that's why when you're going through something, you have to know that those feelings that you're going through, no matter how much you have support, like what Kamal was saying, you're gonna be the one that it has to fix it and break away from that pain. We may want people to feel sorry for ourselves and say, people are not there for me. Even if they're there, you still have to be the one that is doing the work. And that's what I do. For me, I look at myself. What do I need to let go? What are the childhood attachments that I'm holding on? And all these things that, and I look at myself and look at my bloodline, my family, how are they? And I check them out. And those who are not changing their lives, who are just sitting there, I send a message. I'm like, follow me on my YouTube channel or my Facebook. I don't give advice. I just say, follow me. And when somebody follows and they're like, oh, I want to do this, I'm like, I love this. When somebody wants to change for themselves, not me pushing them. So I think it is very, very important to check you out. We intend to look at other people and say, you know what, I am who I am because of this, because of this. No, we are not. It's like myself, like before I used to blame my parents with the divorce. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, why was I blaming my parents? They divorced when I was 8 months. I don't even remember about the divorce. So why was I blaming them? And but I think it is, and then I decided that I think I need to ask my mom about her relationship with my dad, so she can help me to understand the process, what went wrong. So without blaming either of them, because I know that they've tried their best. And now that I'm older, and my mom explains that, no, your dad wanted a housewife. Nomsa, I was never going to be a housewife for nobody. So I'm like, okay. She wanted to raise the kids and then go and do some work and study. But my dad wanted him to be the one that is working. So she had to look at herself and say, that's not the life that I want. So you choose your own life. And that's what Kamal is saying. Everything starts with you. It's like myself. I'm just doing NOMSA. I teach my children, if you come in this house, my house is a mad house. You find my daughter, she's singing opera, she's doing whatever she's doing. You go to the other room, somebody is doing something else, and you go to my come here where I broadcast, and I'm like dancing, and everyone is like, are you gonna sit down? I'm like, I'm just loving this music. So it's just mad. Just do you, go mad. That's why we need people going mad and not minding people, what people think about themselves. Find your own voice, lead from within. If the madness or you're working, work hard until everybody like recommends you. Just do your best to work, you serve your clients.
It's true, and I know Angie has to leave soon, and so do I. So I'm going.
I think I need to go as well, because
I'm going to use this opportunity to thank everyone that was listening, and from my end, so that you get to know me a little bit more. I am an NLP master practitioner and a life purpose specialist, and what I do is I help people find their or find a way and create a foundation to live in harmony and uncover their purpose in life through NLP and a little bit of ancient Egyptian methodology. You can find me on.
Kamal, say thank you to Happy. She sent my star. This is one of my friends that.
Hi, Happy. Thank you for this.
She's mad with me. She always supports me in every way. So she sent 5 stars. I was lucky. She's the first person to send the stars.
That's nice of her. Thank you so much. And so, you can find me on kamalamer.com, or you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll leave you with one quote, as I usually do before I end. It is from George Bernard Shaw, And he said, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And I'll pass the mic to Angie. Where can we find you?
I love that. So hi guys, thank you very much for listening and commenting and stuff, and thank you Nomsa and Kamal. So I'm Angie Simmons. I'm a personal development and mental wellness mentor. Now this comes from a place where I've been there, done that. I struggled myself for over 20 years with mental health until I found a way through to actually find me. So it's about me turning my mental mess into my message to help inspire you, to help you gain more clarity, more connection, and improve your mindset and your life. So I do this in a few unique ways. One is with my unique undated journal called How Am I Feeling Today, and my mentoring course that basically is the journal, and the journal is the course, and the course is the journal. And yeah, anyway, it's what basically turned my life around. So I've designed it to help people do the same thing. So yeah, you can find me Growth Development Foundation on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can find me on LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn under Angie Simmons. So I look forward to connecting with you guys, and stay safe. And when all said and done, make sure you come first.
Thank you, Angie and Kamal, and thank you, Happy, for the stars. We love you and we appreciate you. And thank you so much. For me, you can find me anywhere. I'm not hidden. You find me anywhere. Nomsa Clara, LinkedIn, Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, website, Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency. If you want to connect with any of these coaches, if you can't get hold of them, if you get a hold of me, I'll connect with you. I'll connect with them. Please do get in touch and try new things. And when you are trying new things, don't worry about your dreams. Are your dreams, even if they are big or too small, but they are yours. So you have to hold on to them and be grateful that you're taking the step, try new things, and don't worry about what people think or the changes that you are making in your life. And the changes that make you unique. That's what Angie said before, that her relationship with her ex, it makes her unique because people don't believe that people should get along with their exes, but we're family. When we have children with other people, we become the bloodline, it becomes connected. So to me, that is normal. And just do you. And God bless. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel, Ghost Talk Shows family. We'll see you tomorrow, and God bless.